What's up? This is Bryce with Paintball Addiction in Vernal, Utah. Today we're going to go through the basic maintenance of the Invert Mini. The Invert Mini doesn't need a lot of maintenance. It's a really simple gun. It doesn't take much. But, okay, to start with, there's a small screw here in the back. It takes a 1/8 inch Allen wrench. Just go ahead and pull that out. Okay. And your bolt assembly will just pop out the back. This one's got an aftermarket bolt on it by Rhythm Innovations. It's a very good bolt. I really recommend it. Go ahead and pull that off. Okay. Now, go ahead and wipe everything clean. Okay. Now, when you're putting your bolt back on, your bolt spring back on, if it slides on easily, doesn't click or anything like that, it's on backwards, and that can really chew up your bolt and cause some problems. You want to make sure that the bolt spring goes on, has to be pushed down, and clicks. Now, for the Mini, you don't have to do this maintenance very often. It's a very low maintenance marker, doesn't take a lot of care. But go ahead and use some Dow 33, or the lubricant that came with it, will work great, obviously. Lube up your O-rings a little bit. You don't want to lube them up really, really bad, and you want to make sure not to get any of them down into your poppet. Otherwise, you'll end up with some problems and blow up and or blow back and things like that. So, okay, then just go ahead and put your bolt back on. On the aftermarket Delrin bolt, I like to use just a little bit of Tri-Flow on these back O-rings. Not a lot, but a little bit here and there. Okay, that's really about it for the Mini. Like I said, it's a very simple marker, and you don't need to do this very often. For the Mini, I'm going to go ahead and go through a couple of common problems that I see people having with the Mini as well, just because it is so easy to maintain. So let me go ahead and put this back in, and we'll... Okay. So your Mini is back together and ready to go. One common thing with the Mini is a lot of people overpressurize the Mini and blow their solenoids and cause all sorts of problems. The Mini's pressure needs to be below 200 psi. I usually like to set them up to about 180. That seems to be a good way to go, and have a lot of success that way. Okay. Now on the Mini's trigger, the Mini trigger has 3 screws in it. The first one is your magnet and control. The second one is a trigger stop, and the third one is a trigger stop. Now, really, I don't like to tell people to mess with these top two. A lot of people will move the one with the magnet on it out too far, end up breaking the magnet off and having a lot of problems that way. Your easiest bet is just to get a longer screw and adjust the back pull a little more if you want to adjust your thing. One other upgrade that I really recommend on the Mini is the Rhythm Innovations trigger. The Rhythm trigger has multiple magnets here on the back of the trigger that you can add or remove to adjust the weight of your pull. You can get a heavier pull or a lighter pull or however you want it. It also comes with a longer screw to give you more adjustability in the pull. I mean, you like a light trigger pull, one magnet's great. This one's set up with 2 because the owner likes that feel of pull. You can add more, you can take them off, you can whatever. You can get a really good pull and adjustability that way on the Mini. Good little marker. Now, another big thing with the Mini that I'm seeing a lot of people doing is that they're pulling their ball detents out for no apparent reason, and they're stripping a lot of them. I don't really recommend that. I mean, if you need to take them out to clean them or whatever, that's okay, but just taking them in and putting them in, taking them out, putting them back in, taking them out, putting them back in, it wears them out really quick. You can cross-thread them and strip the screws, things like that, and really mess up your marker. If they're not needing any maintenance or things like that, probably just go ahead and leave them in. Even cleaning the gun and stuff like that, you can just use a swab and run it through, run it through the whole marker and clean them out really well. You don't really need to take your detents out that often. The other thing is the screw in the front here adjusts your regulator. It's not an on-off. A lot of people I've seen trying to use that as an on-off and end up over-pressurizing their marker. This screw is how you adjust your regulator and shouldn't really be messed with too often. But Mini is an awesome gun. I really like them. I really recommend them. Your velocity adjustment, just right here in the back, adjusted very similar to the old auto mags. You just put them in or put your screw in, turn it up, turn it down, however you need it. All your velocity adjustment should be in here, not in your regulator. So, pretty simple. Pretty simple design. A lot of cool aftermarket stuff coming out. This one's got a Tadao board in it. It's got the rhythm trigger, the rhythm bolt, stuff like that. And we've pushed this marker in some of our tests up to 23 to 25 balls per second, which the Mini performs flawlessly if set up right with the right stuff. Great, great gun. And that's the Invert Mini.